Petrucci from Dream Theater, and you're watching DarkScene TV.
John, we were very grateful for this opportunity to interview you.
No problem.
Last time I interviewed you was in '98, great show back then.
Thank you.
A lot has changed since then for you guys.
We got a new drummer.
You got a new drummer.
He's not so new anymore.
Are you still happy with him?
Absolutely. He's awesome.
Or have you changed your mind?
No, I have not changed my mind. If anything, I like him better.
Yeah, probation period is over.
Yeah, he's wonderful. Awesome. Yeah.
Great. Well, congratulations to your first Grammy nomination for the song On the Backs of Angels.
Thank you.
Were you disappointed that then it was the Foo Fighters, I think?
No, no. I mean, the nomination itself was an incredible honor. And of course everybody wants to win a Grammy, but, you know, I fully understand that it's, you know, not always in the cards, and the Foo Fighters put out a great album, and, you know, congratulations to them. It's awesome.
But it was your first?
It was our first nomination, yes.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Jerzy just mentioned that you're coming from Budapest.
Yes.
How was the show last night?
It was great. Yeah, it was really cool, big arena venue. You know, it was awesome. Really a lot of fun. Great crowd.
I did an interview with Jordan in July last year when we played here in Vienna. Okay. And you had just had one song in the Backs of Angels on the set list. Now it's different.
Now it's different, yeah. At that point the album wasn't out yet. That was in July, so the album came out in the fall. And so now we're featuring the new album, so you'll see a lot of the new songs tonight.
I think up to 5 songs you're playing.
Even more, I think.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What are the reactions from the fans?
It's been great. You know, when we first, the first tour that we did after the album came out was in North America. And in fact, we had a couple different set lists that we were playing. And if anything, we got some complaints that we weren't playing enough of the new album, and so we kind of like switched it around, and we put, I think we had, you know, maybe 6 songs or 7 songs from the new album. And so the reaction was great, not only to the new album, but to Mike Mangini as our drummer, and you know, which was really nice to get that kind of reaction from our fans. You know, just everybody being very welcoming and very gracious and cool and happy and smiling.
Well, Mike Mangini has a very central spot in the set list, doesn't it, with the drum solo?
He has a nice drum solo. Yeah. He sure does. Yes, and he kills it. Yes.
What were the criteria for you guys just to put together the set list of the current tour, in addition to the new songs, but also the oldest, because you have so much material? Yeah,
we have a lot of material. I mean, it's definitely difficult to do because we do have a lot of material. You know, we're playing for 2 hours, so we have a time limit that we're trying to squeeze everything in. We certainly wanted the show to be dynamic, so to have a definite intro, a definite build. We have a section halfway through where we really come down and kind of do a little bit of an acoustic set, and then the show builds back up and it ends kind of more exciting and more epic. So we wanted to choose the songs that would make a nice flow to the set.
Yeah, I like the set list also of your last show here in Vienna in July, particularly because it featured some songs that you didn't play so often in before. So
I think it's like, you know, on a more simpler note, it's kind of like we looked at our catalog. We looked at, you know, what are our favorite songs to play, like what are the ones that we really enjoy playing, you know, what are some songs that we haven't played in a while, and what are some songs that we hear where we get feedback from our fans that they say, oh, they haven't played that song in a while, or that, you know, so we kind of mixed all those ideas together and came up with that set.
So basically feedback from your fans is an important element?
It definitely helps, you know, because, you know, obviously we have to always do what is, you know, important to us and what's artistically along the lines of what we want to do. But at the same time, you know, we do have a great audience out there. We have, you know, really passionate listeners, and it's great to get some feedback. And if there's something that maybe we overlooked, or, you know, it's like, hey, you know what, these guys are right, we haven't played that song in a really long time. You know, maybe we can move it in. You know, we haven't gone so far as write the set list for us, which would be interesting. But it's nice to get some feedback, absolutely.
When I did the interview with Jordan in July, I asked him how on earth can you guys remember those arrangements?
Yeah.
And he said he has his display.
Yeah.
But how do you go about it?
You know what? At first, it's kind of like, to be honest with you, it's very annoying for me because I have to go and I don't remember the songs and I have to re-listen and learn everything and remember how I played it. And then after a while, after you just rehearse it and play it for a while, you just remember it. I don't know, it all comes back.
Yeah.
And there's certain cues, melodic cues, rhythmic cues, things that make you remember. And eventually it just becomes like clockwork. I mean, every so often on stage, I kind of panic, like, oh man, wait, what's the next part that's coming up? And, you know, it happens every once in a while. But I think in general, once you get into a groove, you kind of remember. It all comes back.
Let us talk about inspiration in general, because you're such a creative band as a whole. But you are one of the main songwriters, obviously. Where do you get your inspiration? A big musical, also theoretical background. Do you draw on that, or is it just you go into the rehearsal room and you just jam and then, or how does it work?
Well, there's a couple of different ways. I mean, one of them is just like that sort of inspiration, where you hear musicians talk about where something just hits you. You know, maybe you don't even have your guitar. You're like just waking up in the morning, or you know, falling asleep, or you're walking down the street, or you're in the supermarket or something, and just something hits you, an idea, a melody, a riff, and then you don't know why, but it just came to you, and so then you have to sort of sing it into something and remember it, or get to a guitar really quickly or write it down. That's one thing. Another way is just by playing. You know, when I play guitar, you know, just, I don't know, you're just kind of noodling around and things come out, you know, and sometimes you write some cool riffs and ideas that way. And other times it's more purposeful. Like you actually have a plan. Like I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write something right now. And in that case, then you sort of think about it. It's more like you're just going through things. You think about what you're trying to write. And it's more like cerebral, where it's you're actually actively thinking about writing and coming up with stuff. And then the last way I would say is an interactive way, where if you were Jordan, for example, or John Mayung, we'd be sitting here playing, and then he might play something, and I might say, oh wait, what did you play? You know, let me try that, and take it, and it's more collaborative and interactive. So those are basically the ways that creativity happens.
Let us talk about you as a guitarist. You're on the cover of the Guitar Player.
Yes.
Like I said, Prince of Prague.
Prince of Prague. Nice. Nice. I didn't come up with that. I love the Jude did an awesome job on the interview. He really did a great article.
No, I like the interview a lot.
Very thorough. Yeah.
Very thorough.
Yes.
Very in detail.
Yes.
And that's also my next question, because many of our readers are also musicians.
Yeah.
And what I read and what I'm really interested in is, can you please tell us about your practice warm-up routines while on tour?
You know, it's funny because it always changes. Like sometimes I do very specific warm-ups where I become almost like OCD, like I have to do the same warm-up every day. And I'll go through that for a couple of weeks. And that's just like, it could be just exercises, you know, very, very methodical. I'll practice 1 note per string, I'll practice 2 note per string, I'll practice 3 note per string, I'll practice legato, I'll practice sweep picking, whatever. And I do each one for like 5 minutes, and I have a set timer. It's very, very specific. Other times, like last night, I have my little Boss E-band thing, and I have jams in there that I wrote, and I'll just jam on whatever, and not play a single exercise, just jam before I go on stage.
But you also do band warm-ups?
No.
No?
We don't do band warm-ups. No.
You don't do band warm-ups?
No, every so often Jordan and I will jam backstage or something, but yeah, we don't warm up as a band.
Right, okay.
No. So, yeah, and sometimes I just pick up the guitar 5 or 10 minutes before, and I do some light noodling and then go on stage. So my warm-up differs. If I'm in the mood, I like to play, and that's basically what it comes down to.
Your instruction video, Grok Discipline,
Yeah.
has become a classic. This question is to put the pressure on. Any plans for a new?
You know, it's funny. I've been getting asked that question for a long time now, and I have a definite idea of what I'd like to do for an instructional video because, you know, like that video kind of like comprised a lot of what made up my practicing routines that I still use, you know. So a new video would have to be something entirely different that kind of covered new ground, and I definitely have an idea. And it's just a matter of finding the time. I know I always say that, it sounds like an excuse. Same thing with my solo album, need to do the follow-up, and I'm hoping to do that this year. It's just, life has been so busy with Dream Theater and our change in the new album and producing and now being on tour, it's tough to find the time.
Do you have time to listen to any new music?
I just got the new Van Halen album and I love it. It's awesome. Yeah.
And in addition to, what do you say about your support band, Periphery?
Oh, I love them. I think they're great. I think they're doing something that's very unique. They have a unique sound. I think they're taking progressive music to another level. And they also, not only do they get the technical side, where the music is extremely technical and heavily syncopated and great playing, but they get the songwriting side. They get the melody, and they have that thing that makes you want to listen to them. So I'm really happy to have them on tour with us.
You appear to be in quite good shape. You're doing...
I lifted a car.
You lifted a car, yes. Do you have time to do workouts while you're on tour?
Yeah. I just, you know, basically I'll go in the morning or early afternoon. You know, while I'm on tour. If the hotel has a gym, great. If not, I will ask, where's their local gym, or I have an app that finds a gym and I work out.
Right, on your iPad or
yeah, on the iPhone. Or today I didn't have time, so I have these bands, like these stretchy bands, and they're all different tensions. And I did a nice shoulder workout before sound check, so I just squeeze it in.
Yeah, so that's important to keep fit.
It's important to me. You know, it's like I like to feel like that I'm not going to hurt myself if I go to lift something. I don't like feeling weak. I like to feel like at least I have some sort of, you know, ability.
Yeah. Are there any games or movies that you watch while you're in the tour bus or stuff?
I've been getting into It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's just I don't know if it was on FX maybe. It's a you know, a comedy, like a sitcom type of thing. It's hysterical. It's like Danny DeVito was in it, and I don't know how many seasons they have, but I think I'm on the 7th season. And I watched that on the iPad is great. I just bring that, you know, my bunk, and I watch those episodes. Laugh to myself.
You wrote on your website recently that, and that was in connection with the Grammy nomination, let's all keep dreaming big. I mean, you have achieved so much with Dream Theater. Where's the journey going? What do you still want to achieve?
Well, you know, it's exciting. I mean, the Grammy thing, like, it was great for us because we've been together for 25, 26 years, and we never had our foot in that door, you know, recognition from the Recording Academy. So it's nice to have that, and it kind of, you know, opens up a whole different area of our career. And, you know, now that Mike Mangini has been in the band for over a year, and we have this album that we, you know, are touring on, the excitement is going to be on what we can do in the future on the next album with him, and where we're able to take it. And the great thing about being in a band and being in this position is that every album is an opportunity to roll up your sleeves and say, okay, how can I be creative now? How can I, you know, top the last thing? Or how can I do something different? Or become better and better? So it's always a challenge, and that's what keeps it fun.
Yeah. One last question. Can you tell us your favorite or 5 all-time favorite records?
My all-time favorite records? I mean, you know, it goes back to, like, you know, my influences and the ones that were really important growing up, like Rush, Moving Pictures, Yes, Fragile, Metallica, Master of Puppets. You know, Steve Morse is my favorite guitar player, so the introduction. It's hard to pick just 5, you know, I don't know. What else would be a big one? I don't know, Blizzard of Oz was a big one when I was growing up. Ozzy, Randy Rhoads was a huge one. It's hard to just do 5. There's tons. I'm leaving out millions, you know.
Yeah.
But those were some big influences.
Are there any? I know that we're running out of time, but
yes.
Any plans of you going on the G3 tour again?
You know, if Joe asks me, I would absolutely love to do that. You know, that's Joe's thing, and his organization. We certainly had fun doing. I did like 6 G3 tours, I believe. You know, we went through U.S., and Mexico, and South America, and Asia, and Australia. It'd be fun to do again.
What would be the difference, or is there a difference between the audience in the States and Europe or Asia? But mainly on Europe and the States. Would you say there is a difference? I
mean, it's different in that there's cultural differences, maybe, you know, just the way that the different countries are set up. You know, I find that it's a little bit maybe more consistent through America, whereas in Europe there's so many different countries. You know, it's like there's so many different cultures going on right next door to one another, and that might mean, you know, that one group of people are more, you know, they're louder and they sing louder and they're more like, they go crazy. In another, you know, country, maybe they're a little bit more conservative and more, you know, a little more resolved. But I think the bottom line is that everybody is coming because they enjoy music, they want to have a good time. Obviously, if they're coming to see us, they like progressive music, they like metal, and so I think that's the common thread. I don't think it's just like a passing type of thing, like, well, let's go watch this party band. The people purposely are going to watch this kind of music because they enjoy this kind of music. So that's the best thing, whether we're in Europe or Asia or America or Australia, is that we have an attentive audience. They're there to watch and to enjoy and check out the music. And I love that as a musician, it's great because you know they're going to appreciate it. You know, all the practicing will pay off, you know, and people will understand it. They'll get it, right? So that's cool.
John, thanks a lot for this interview. Would you mind just saying a short intro for our viewers?
Yeah, sure.
Our magazine is DarkScene.
DarkScene?
DarkScene.
Okay.
Scene?
Scene?
Scene.
Hi everybody, this is John Petrucci from Dream Theater, and you're watching DarkScene TV.